Welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I am the witchy Stacey Earlywine.
Witchy women.
Witchy women.
We are celebrating October, and we are doing all the fun October things.
We are going to do fun October things. Yeah.
Yes. And
so you don't know. I mean, who knows what we're going to look like?
Right. Every episode will be different.
Absolutely.
In October. And so today we are going to talk about the history of Halloween.
You know, we're going to the origins of Halloween, how the fun things we do at Halloween came, and I learned a lot. I had no clue about any of this stuff.
I learned a lot too.
We have a lot to dive into, so we're going to do our ad first, and then we're going to dive right into everything, because you know this segment goes really fast when we're talking about things we love, right? Okay, you need this. You need this ad.
Okay.
Bad weather is sore throat weather. Gargle when you get home. Listerine, the safe antiseptic. 2 ways of whipping a cold. As soon as nasty weather sets in, thousands are down with sore throat, colds, gripe, flu, and worse. Don't be one of them. Gargle with Listerine, full strength every day, especially after exposure to rain, severe cold, coughing, crowds in public places, buses, streetcars, and movies. This simple act may spare you a costly and possibly dangerous siege of illness. I had no idea Listerine could do everything.
Yeah, I did not know that either. Just a little antiseptic and boo, you don't get sick anymore.
You don't get sick anymore.
Yeah.
It looks like they even have like Listerine pills down there to the bottom right.
Yeah, I see that.
And then this one says, joined yet? Get in the circle of men. That's a little bitty print. The perfect shave, the cool shave with Listerine shaving cream.
Well, I didn't know that existed. So this is from 1929?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. 2 ways of whipping a cold.
Gargling, pilling, or shaving. Yeah.
I need to go buy some. I have 3 kids, and all 3 of them are homesick today.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not
Sore throats and fever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of bad for you right now, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm trying not to focus on it, but honestly, like when there's an illness in my family, there's 5 of us, and we all 5 usually boom, 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 and everybody has it. And so far, it is the 3 kids. My husband and I are fine, but I feel like a ticking time bomb.
You need to go get some Listerine and just when you come in. Just Lysol. No, that's Lysol.
That's Lysol.
Lysol.
No, I have my Lysol in one hand, my Listerine in the other. I'll be squirting it in my mouth and the Lysol in the house.
Oh, gross. Yeah, that's the worst. Here's the trade-off. No bugs.
Yeah.
Just a different kind of bug.
Yeah.
One bug doesn't bite you and eat you alive. The other one does it from the inside.
Ooh, I never looked at it like that. But you know what?
We just trade one bug for another.
What would you rather have?
I hate them bugs that bite your skin and make you itch.
Me
I lose
too.
my mind.
I would rather have
I'd rather have. There's drugs to deal with that, and there's no amount of itch cream to make anything go away.
I would rather get rid of the summer bugs and not have to worry about ticks, mosquitoes, gnats, none of that, and then actually have a real bug and illness for a few days.
And the gnats were so bad this year. So bad. We had them at the theater. We had them at my house. Had them at the shop. It was awful.
They were bad, but I do suspect the reason for why they were in the theater. I think there was somebody that had left some tomatoes in the theater while she went on vacation. And then there were gnats.
Yeah. No, it was my sister, Diane.
Oh, yeah. It was
Diane's the weird eater. Do you think I'd bring tomatoes in? Heck no, I ain't going to mess with that. No. Diane.
Yeah.
She was always...
She does bring fruits and vegetables.
She brings fruits and vegetables, and then she never eats them.
Yeah. Well, she has a good plan. She is thinking right, like I'm going to eat healthy. She just doesn't follow through.
Yeah, but even after I got rid of them tomatoes, they're still. Yeah, but no, she's the world's worst. She is. Oh, she's always going to eat healthy, then she never does, and we order cheeseburgers.
Yeah, but we love her. We love her anyway.
God bless my sister. That theater would still be not painted if it wasn't for her.
Yeah, she's done a lot of work up there.
So today's episode, we are going to talk about all the fun, basically the origins of Halloween. So I'm excited about this because there's so many. I mean, I don't know. As a little kid, you dress up and you go get candy. So I don't know. I just thought it was really interesting where it all came from.
Yeah.
So I've got just a little tidbit on Halloween's roots.
Okay.
Do you want to go? Do you want me to go and then you want to correct me?
Yeah, I love that plan. You go with what you have. I have notes too.
You
and
have
I
better
think
notes
that
than
our
I do.
notes are kind of
They
in
are.
line with each other.
Well,
so.
I did Stacey notes and just hit some hot points.
Okay, that's fine.
Halloween roots are an ancient Celtic festival of Samhain.
Yeah. The Celtic people. It was in before the 1st century. The festival of Samhain is a celebration of the end of the Gaelic harvest season. So It was end of harvest. Everything was dying.
Everything was dying.
So they felt like there was
festival?
the veil between the dead and the living
And
was
the living.
thinner because
Yeah.
everything had died. All that they could.
Okay, so let's just take this back. So we're the dead and living because harvest everything was alive, and then it dies off, and then you harvest it. So that's your dead and living. The plants were alive, now they're okay. Cool.
And the also the ancient Celts believed that wearing masks would ward off evil spirits.
Yes.
So that is kind of where it came from. So this view of it was that the very early Celtic people, Celtic people were like Scottish, Irish, that whole area up there, Northern Europe, and that they would wear these masks to ward off the ghosts that they felt would come out at Halloween when that veil was thin.
Yes.
Because harvest was over, everything had died. They did not worship the ghosts. They wanted to be separated from that. They weren't celebrating these spirits. They were trying to.
They were blending in, basically.
They were trying to stay away from them by disguising themselves. Okay.
Yeah. And then I have here where All Hallows Eve, Pope Gregory III declared November 1st All Saints Day.
Yes.
So the evening before came All Hallows Eve.
Yes. So there's a few things that happened in between there. Okay, so the Samhain was the early 1st century, and the All Saints Day came later in the 8th century. So there's like 700 years in between. Okay, but in that time, the Romans conquered almost all of the Celtic territory. And so the Roman festivals were combined with the Celtic celebration. And the Romans... They worshipped, worshipped all kinds of gods, like the Greek and Roman gods and all of that. So they had Feralia, a day in late October when Romans commemorated the passing of the dead, and a day to honor the Roman goddess of fruit and trees.
Yes.
So they were honoring their god there with the fruit and trees, and they were just commemorating the passing of the dead, mourning them. So sorry, we lost, kind of like we do on Memorial Day for veterans. But again, not worshiping the devil, not anything satanic there. No. But it did say that bonfires played a major role. Did you have stuff on bonfires?
Yeah, let's not get into any of that.
Because I've got all that stuff started there too.
Yeah, I've got all that stuff.
Okay, so then let's fast forward to All Saints Day.
Yeah, let's talk about All Saints Day.
So I have that the Festival of All Saints dates to May 13th in 609 or 610, when Pope Boniface the IV consecrated the Pantheon at Rome. Okay, so one of the very first popes said, you know what, this pagan celebration that's going on is not really going like. It's not Catholic. It's not a Christian holiday. Let's let's honor the dead, but let's make it a Christian holiday. And so they began calling it All Saints Day, where they honored all of the saints that had passed away, and all of the martyrs. So martyrs and saints were honored, and they had a feast, and they turned it, and that was the 7th century, actually, not the 8th. I said that wrong earlier. So 600 years difference before he started it, and it became All Saints Day. So it was actually a Christian holiday, and they honored the saints and the martyrs from the Bible that had died. So, and then a little while later, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as All Saints Day, a time to honor saints and martyrs. So the festival had begun before the All Saints Festival had died with that other pope, or had started with that other pope. Now this pope comes along and he actually makes it a day.
And that's Gregory.
All Saints Day.
Cool.
And that's Pope Gregory. and that is in the 8th century. So,
Wow.
and then they start, and that was on November the 1st. All Saints Day is November the 1st. So they started celebrating the night before, which would be Halloween Eve, and they called it
All Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve.
Yes.
Which that word actually,
Eve
over
is
the
always
years, turned into Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, so that's where Halloween comes from. It is the night before you start honoring the saints.
The saints.
And All Hallows, hallowed, meaning those that are hallowed, like the martyrs from the Bible and the saints. They are hallowed people, a hallowed time, and All Hallows
It's very
Eve.
interesting. Isn't it cool?
Yeah, very cool.
I find it really cool.
Yeah.
And then we break down so many things about, so then that's the origins of how Halloween came to be. Now we're going to talk about how the things that we do during Halloween come to fruition. Is that the word I want to use? Like talking about, the craziest one that I came across was the carving of the jack-o'-lantern.
Yes.
So apparently there was this legend of a man called Stingy Jack.
Yes, I read about him.
The carving of the jack-o'-lantern originates from Ireland, and before they carved pumpkins, they used turnips. So there was a gentleman named Stingy Jack, and legend has it that he carved out a turnip and he trapped the devil inside of it. Okay, so Jack's going around, which, I don't really think you can put the devil in a turnip, but whatever.
I don't think so. This is like an early version of The Devil Went Down to Georgia. It didn't really happen.
Yeah.
It makes a great story.
It does make a great story. So Jack carves out a turnip and he traps the devil, and apparently he negotiated with the devil, right?
For a golden violin?
For a gold. No, I wish, right?
What did he?
So basically he said, so Jack was like negotiating with the devil. The devil's like, well, if you let me out, if you let me out of the turnip, then I will not, when you die, I won't take you to hell. Okay, so you just let me out, and I'm going to do my thing. So Jack lets the devil out. Then apparently Jack dies. Well, come to find out, heaven didn't want Jack either.
Nope.
So the heaven sends Jack back.
It said God didn't really like that this guy had been negotiating with the devil. It's in my notes.
Exactly. So God's like, nope, you're going back down to earth. So guess what the devil does? He traps Jack. He puts Jack in a hollowed out turnip, and then he puts a piece of lit coal inside the turnip. So Jack can walk around as a spirit with his lit up turnip. Okay? So how exciting is that? So that's where we get so the devil put Jack's spirit in the turnip with a lamp of coal to light his way. Then, so a little bit later, people start carving pumpkins and put lights in the pumpkins.
And they start calling, they saw the ghostly figure carrying the light around, and they referred to him as Jack of the Lantern.
Jack of the Lantern, yes.
And then simply Jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
And that is how Jack-o'-lantern came
And then
to
they're
be.
like, well, we got these real big orange things. Let's just carve these suckers and make them look cute.
I actually have in my notes, though, that is the common belief of where it really got started with carving pumpkins, but it says that carving gourds elaborately into decorated lanterns dates way back thousands of years to the ancient Africans.
Nice. Ooh,
they were doing it not in any type of...
We got to take a commercial
Oh,
break.
okay.
That's going to happen this episode. We'll be right back.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Jimmy ordered lumber, doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, Jimmy ordered guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. Today we're discussing the history of Halloween.
Yes, and we just touched on some history of where it originated from.
Yes.
And now we're talking about some of the fun things we do. We
Yeah.
just talked about where jack-o'-lantern comes from.
Oh, right. And I was talking about Africa.
Yeah, let's.
So they were using pumpkins and gourds with lights inside of them, and the pumpkins and gourds were carved ornately, it says, way
Yes.
back in the ancient times, like BC, okay? And I don't think they were doing it for any kind of celebration. I think they were doing it for
Probably.
practical purposes, light.
Yeah.
But that's the earliest known.
I love that. I have a
I don't know how
picture.
they
I have
discovered
a
that,
picture here. We got lots of pictures we're going to go through. Look at this. This is my idea of jack-o'-lantern.
Yes.
Little boys scooping out all the innards, and that one's got a nice little smiley face.
Uh-huh.
Jim got to the point when the boys were little, like all the jack-o'-lanterns, like it wasn't just holes and eyes and a nose and a mouth.
Oh, yeah, you went all out and did the fancy ones?
Yeah, Mac does it now with Jack and JoJo. But yeah, that's just a cute little fun picture I have.
Yeah, super fun one.
Do you have a little bit something else you wanted to talk about on the saints?
Just going through the timeline of how this all evolved. We talked about how the Pope made it All Saints Day on November the 1st, but they also made November the 2nd All Souls Day, and that was a day to honor all of the dead. So November 1st was to honor the saints and the martyrs. November 2nd was to honor all of the dead.
Nice.
And then October 31st was the precursor to that, and that was just getting ready for it, and Hallows Eve, getting ready to honor those that are hallowed and loved. So the three Catholic celebrations, the Eve of All Saints, also called All Hallows Eve, All Saints Day, and All Souls Day, all three of those combined were called Hallowmas.
Hallowmas.
So like HALLOWMAS, like at the end, like
Hallowmas.
Christmas.
Interesting.
And this goes all the way back to 1000 AD.
Wow.
Hallowmas. So that is way back there. And then the Middle Ages is whenever the jack-o'-lantern story came about. And but also in the Middle Ages they had soul cakes, and
We should have your mom make us a soul cake.
I know. These were given out to the solars, mainly consisting of children and the poor, who would go from door to door on Hallowmas,
I got that on
singing
trick-or-treating.
and saying prayers for
Yes.
the dead.
Yeah.
Each cake would be eaten and represent a soul freed from purgatory.
Love
so
it.
they would pray for those, and they would eat these cakes along the way. That they went door to door doing this. Sound a little bit like trick or treat. Okay. It
yeah.
all stemmed from prayers, praying for souls in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Halloween was officially attested as part of the English language in the 16th century.
Okay, now I've got stuff on that too.
So that's okay. Let's talk about that.
Because I'm going to, So let's see here. Because here, what I have on trick or treating, there is like a few other, several different theories on it.
Okay.
A lot of it came from like they would they would leave food out to appease the spirits that traveled the earth at night. So a lot of people thought that back in this is Scottish, that they would leave food out on their front porches to feed the souls that were wandering.
Okay.
Okay, that's one theory. Then the other one is what you touched on. The Scottish called it souling in the Middle Ages, when children would collect food from local homes, then pray for the dead. Okay, like you touched on. And then I came across something that when German Americans came to America, they called it besnickling. and it actually was a Christmas.
That sounds like fun.
It does sound
Be
like
sniggling.
fun. Be sniggling. It was like a Christmas tradition. So children would go, and this is where I think I think of our Halloween comes from like the German Americans, because then children would dress in costumes and they would go to their neighbor's house, and if the neighbors, and then the neighbors would guess who these children were. Okay, if no one guessed who the child was, then the neighbor gave the child a treat.
Oh, okay.
So, and that was a German American.
Okay, that's cool.
Thing. I like the Scottish version too. That's probably where it first came, and then you know how everything just progresses and progresses.
And then here's the way that this timeline has it coming to America is that the Irish potato famine, we all know about that, brings Irish Catholics to America. They escaped the famine in Ireland. They moved to America. This was around 1846, and they brought their Halloween traditions with them. Yeah. So it was around that time where the kind of Halloween started to enter the American culture.
I love it. And one of the things, well, I don't know about you, but, and we all, like I said, we just touched on a little bit, people would dress up as spirits and stuff so the spirits would not recognize them as they're wandering the earth. So this is where our fun costumes come from. So wearing costume, basically you're in disguise.
You're hiding.
You're hiding. And I have some pictures here of some old time costumes. And we want to pull in some of Beth's too, some of the costumes here.
We got a lot of cool pictures.
Look at these. Some of these costumes.
People complain that our Halloweens today are too scary and our costumes are too scary and spooky. And I'm honestly terrified by the ones of the past. More so than the ones that are on the shelves today.
Absolutely. These are terrifying.
A lot of these are homemade paper mache masks.
Is that Porky Pig? That's a pig up there in the top right. The homemade masks are terrifying. I think they're scary as can be. Do I have any other pictures of Look at these. Now, this is my day. This is what those plastic, you would sweat your face off in those plastic. So we got a pirate and a cat, a Donald Duck in the front. What's the one in the very front middle?
Some kind of ghost or something.
I don't know. Is it Jim? Sometimes I thought maybe it might be Jiminy Cricket. Yeah, and then that skeleton. These masks were horrible. And then I think Beth sent some. Look how cute. See, now that's what the little children look like. I can see their little faces.
Yeah, that's cute. We got like a hobo fishing.
Yeah.
And a little pirate.
Now, did Beth? Oh boy!
This is my childhood here. I
Are
honestly,
you the princess?
I'm not in this photo, but I could be.
I had that princess mask.
I think someone in my family had that couch, and that painting, and that hutch. I mean, all of this is so like 1980s.
It's so great.
But yeah,
look at
these
Casper.
masks.
Yeah, I definitely had. I remember. Okay, so everybody that was trick or treating back in the 70s, we all had that little same crown, that little. And look at the bags. So fun. See, I never did have the jack-o'-lantern that we got candy. I had like the Easter. I had the Halloween bag.
Yeah, I'd say this is late 70s, early 80s there. I don't know.
That's fun.
Okay.
Whoa. Yeah, look at that mask.
Yeah, I don't have a year on this one, but I'm guessing this to be probably 1920s.
Look at that middle mask. Is so scary.
I know. Well, a middle one. Look at the one on the right.
Yeah.
What is happening here? This is Halloween fun. Let's keep going.
Well, they're more scary.
No, is that it? Okay.
Picture?
Yeah. Craziness. Crazy.
Oh, I just remember as a little girl, like I said, we would go trick or treating. Man, you'd put that. Oh, you just walk with sweat and
sweat. You couldn't see.
Now, when you were little and you were trick or treating, what was your favorite thing to get?
Oh, out of the candy?
Yeah, because and I've got an origin about candy. I'm going to talk about where the candy thing came from in a little bit. But when I was younger, I mean, it was like people made like full-on treat bags. Yeah, we get candy apples, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But popcorn balls.
I was getting ready to say that.
God. Oh, I lost my hat.
And I don't even.
I'm so excited about popcorn balls.
I've never been a big popcorn eater, but those popcorn balls were amazing because I think they had sugar in them. They were sweet.
Yeah, it was like sweet corn syrup and butter and stuff. Oh my gosh, there was nothing. There was a house when I was a little girl, and we went there every year. And I'm gonna tell you where this house is at. They're gone now because they passed away. You go down South Main, Okay, where South Main and Washington crosses over, and that yellow house would be on the southeast corner. That yellow house is still there.
I turn by there every day.
That lady made the best popcorn balls, and we all got homemade popcorn. She made it for the whole neighborhood.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So that was my favorite. So
I loved those too, but I was also big on like Snickers and M&Ms.
Yeah.
There was always a few houses that gave out full-size candy bars.
Really?
If you went to the nice neighborhood. Yeah.
You definitely weren't in
and also back then people gave out more things that would not be accepted today, things they had baked. Like they might have made some pumpkin bars or something and give out, and you didn't really hesitate to eat that, I don't think.
I'm going to talk a little bit about candy. So prior to the 1950s, kids received fruits, nuts, coins, toys, and then in the 50s, candy companies then jumped on the bandwagon and started making small individual treats.
That was smart of them. Good marketing.
But fruits, nuts, coins, and toys. That would be awesome.
Coins.
And then
are always good.
My favorite thing, I don't know if candy corn.
I love candy corn.
I love candy corn.
I didn't realize there were people that hated candy corn until...
Who are they?
Until I got on social media.
And I like them big candy pumpkins. Yum.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on social media that are like anti-candy corn. And I'm like, what?
Who?
Why?
Rude.
It's good.
It's pure sugar.
It is.
How do you not love it?
They call it wax. They think it tastes like wax.
Oh, man. What?
I don't know.
No, those were those big wax lips you'd chew on and get the flavor out of.
Those were truly wax.
Those were truly. No, candy corn's one of my favorite. Dang it! Why did we start cutting out sugar today?
I don't know, but
we may have to start.
This is day 2 for me, no sugar, and here we are talking about it.
You know what I'm gonna want to do now?
What?
Go get some dang candy corn. Those big candy.
We just need to talk about it, not actually eat it. But, of the candy corn, the ones that have the chocolate little bit on it, those are the best.
Oh, yeah.
Those are good.
And now you can take candy and people just throw them in a bag of peanuts.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like you're eating a payday.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And actually, I've had a mix before that is the candy corn, the peanuts, and then M&Ms. Have you done that one?
That's a game changer.
Pretty darn good.
Well, we're going to take a commercial break, and I'm going to tell you where candy corn came from.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. We'll be right
excited.
Back.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online bank, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It's the weekend and your symptoms are worsening. The morning of a big meeting and you have a bigger sore throat. Ever experienced that urgency after picking up your sick child and your community health center has already closed? You will be able to connect to a provider at crhpc.org. Even if you have never been to CRHPC, you are welcome to utilize our services. Feel better after scheduling a video visit with CRHPC.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County Farmers Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I am Stacey Earlywine, and we are talking about the fun things we do at Halloween.
We are.
And my favorite, candy corn.
Candy corn.
Candy corn.
Love the candy corn.
So good.
Love those pumpkins. Love anything chocolate.
Anything sugary. Why does sugar have to make you fat?
I don't know.
I think
wish
it's
it
just
didn't.
rude.
I know.
I don't know.
It's an
I'm
addiction.
hoping that in heaven that buttercream ice cream is there, and
Yeah.
and it don't make you fat when I get
Yeah.
my old body, a new body.
I know. Wouldn't that be dreamy?
Okay, candy corn was invented at the Wonderland Candy Company in Philadelphia in the 1880s.
Wow, that long ago. No
Yeah,
kidding.
everybody's been loving it for a long time.
Huh.
But it did not get popular until the Goelitz Company bought the rights to it, and in 1898 it was called Chicken Feed.
Oh, chicken feed. They eat
Chicken
corn.
Feed. They eat corn.
Yeah.
The slogan, this is what the slogan that the Goelitz Company did, something worth crowing for.
That's cute.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
I wish we had a copy of that ad, you know. To
I
use.
know. Did
Yeah.
I? Oh, see, he's gonna be here. Let's show this little piece of paper
Okay.
here. Halloween candy corn, 3-color, naturally sweet honey, butter, flavy, creamy, and delicious, as natural looking as
Ripe
corn.
pound size.
Size.
21 cents.
Wow.
Wonder what year that was.
I have no idea, but it is definitely something worth crowing for.
Yeah.
I love that slogan.
Yeah, that's cute.
Now, that's the origins of candy corn, and now we're going to talk about candy apples.
Okay.
This is a very interesting story too.
Okay.
So in Roman times, to keep fruit preserved, a gentleman they would wax fruits back in Rome to keep it all preserved.
Pretty
right?
smart. Yeah.
Well, in 1908, a man named William Kolb was from Newark, New Jersey, and he had a candy shop.
Okay.
Well, he also sold apples. He had apples. Well, the apples were, rotting and stuff. And then he had come up with this really neat hard coating cinnamon candy. So he was literally going to do away with apples and just purely go on candy.
Yeah.
On the candy. So
And
he
then
made
had
this
a big aha moment.
he had an aha moment. He was like, how do I display this beautiful lusciousness, hard but not all the way hard? How am I going to display this candy? So he's like, I got all these apples. So he dipped the apples, stuck the stick down in the apples, dipped it, and put them in the window to showcase his beautiful cinnamon coating candy, and it was Christmas time. Then people were like, because he was just thinking that would showcase, and then they'd be like, what's this beautiful thing? Oh, this. And then he was going to sell it in tubs that you just ate.
Oh.
And then people were like, wait a minute, what's this? He's like, oh, it's just an apple in there. They started eating the apples, and ta-da! Candy apples.
History was made.
It was made. It was a bigger hit than just the cinnamon thing by
because
itself.
those two flavors work together. You
No,
kinda
I
need
love
both.
them, but I like now that we take and dip it in the because I feel like it's gonna break my teeth.
well, your candied apples, and then you have caramel apples.
I think so. Yeah.
It's two different.
I don't think I've ever had a candy apple.
Like a candied apple is more like a red. It's usually red.
And
I
that's
think
what this
coating.
would have been,
That's what
'cause
that
this would have
was.
been cinnamon.
And it is almost a little bit like that waxy texture, like those lips, kind of, but sweet. I think, and you may correct me. I'm sure someone out there will send me a letter if I'm wrong, but that is like a true candied apple, but then caramel apples
are
is
different.
more like what we see in Walmart and what we in Southern Illinois tend to eat more often, and they are amazing.
They are
because
amazing.
there's even a vendor that comes to the Chris Kendall market that we have at Christmas time with her caramel apples.
Did I miss that last year?
You might have. It was in the big tent. I hope they're there this year too. But they have all these different caramel apples, but there's all different flavors, and they aren't just little apples. They're
They're
big
big.
ones. And the one I had was chocolate and coconut, and those little bitty tiny chocolate chips over it, and like caramel drizzled over it. It was amazing, and they're like too big to just pick up and eat. You just slice it into slices and eat a slice.
Yeah.
Best thing ever.
See, 'cause I like to dip it in there, but like I don't think I may have maybe I had a candied apple years and years ago. That the caramel I like caramel apples, but I just soon like dip it in the caramel sauce that we have now.
Yeah, it's easier.
Interesting. Well, we're going to keep going on our apple journey, and we're going to talk about bobbing for apples.
Yuck.
Never understood. Never.
I can remember as a kid, like at our church, like we'd have a Halloween party, fall party at church, and they would always have bobbing for apples.
Well, when I tell you how it originated, you're going to be...
No wonder
okay.
we all had strep throat at the same time.
Exactly.
Anyway, go ahead.
Bobbing for apples actually was about love and romance. It's a courting ritual that the Roman festival honoring Pomona, the goddess of agriculture and abundance. And what happened, it predicted their future relationships.
Oh, yeah, of course it did.
Romans conquered the British Isle in 43 A.D. The Pomona festival, I don't even know what I wrote, blended with similar times, the Samhain, and then this just became part of Halloween. Okay. So this is what's weird about this. So it's about love and romance, and it's going to predict your future. So what they did, and I have a picture of the. I'll save this picture for a minute. Go to this next picture. So what these people did was, there they are. This is a picture of people bobbing for apples. So the apples would have a different carvings in them. Okay. So everybody, and there was like so like what happens, you would bob for apples.
Yeah.
And you'd pull up your apple, and then you'd have your carving. Whoever else had your matching carving, that was your future partner.
Oh, gosh. I would hate to pick a husband like that. Oh, that's awful. Trust me when I say at the church that I went to when I was a kid, we were not bobbing for apples in that way.
Yeah.
That'd be awful.
Well, it would be terrible. Yeah, because I'm like, well, how are they going to do this? So then I started reading into it a little bit more. Yeah, so there would be like a specific carving on an apple. And if you...
Did they really go by that, or was it just kind of more of a joke?
I would think...
Kind of like when you throw your bouquet at a wedding.
Well, I'm thinking, where you're talking 43 A.D. and you're talking Rome, they probably took it seriously.
Yeah, these people pictured were not...
Those were just having fun.
They were just having fun.
I think I bobbed for apples one time, and I can't handle it.
I can't handle the germs.
I can't handle
Even
the
as
germs.
a kid, I recognized the fact that there was people that were getting spit in the water, and then I was putting my face in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was...
Well, not only your face, but you go...
Yeah, you're biting into it and, like, drinking some of that water.
Oh, that's going to make me puke. But, but yeah. So, yeah, that's where bobbing for apples is romantic. So if you want to go back to the Roman tradition of doing that,
no,
by
thanks.
all means.
I'll pass, thank you.
Yeah.
No.
I did show the picture of the pretty candied apples from show that picture. I skipped over. I keep forgetting I have. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yum.
Yeah, those are true candied apples, I think, not caramel.
No, those are candied.
Uh-huh. And those look like some yummy homemade granola bars there.
It does. Don't those look good?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Now, let's talk a little bit about, I'm going to try to get my black and orange.
Okay.
So Halloween is traditionally black and orange. Basically, the Celtics, black was for death and orange was for harvest. Pretty simple. Mm-hmm. I was really expecting it to be like something elaborate.
Something elaborate and dark. No.
Black death, orange harvest.
Everything dies. Everything's harvested.
Yeah, I was really, because orange is my favorite. Orange is like my favorite, orange and yellow, but orange is number one. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I don't think let's show, wait a minute. Wait, we're going to, not yet. This next picture, I need to talk about black cats.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The black cat, you know, he is associated.
There's a lot of superstition surrounding black cats.
About the black cat. Okay. Black cats, during the Middle Ages, were the symbol of the devil.
Okay.
Okay. And this is where, like, the witches and the black cats kind of coincide. The witches had a tendency to have several cats. People thought cats were a witch's familiar supernatural entity that would assist in their black magic. So, you, with your cats, are a symbol of... Are they your familiars?
No.
I don't. Yeah. So that's where the whole witches and the black cat comes from during the Middle Ages.
So none of that even relates to the origin of any of this. It's just somewhere in the Middle Ages, everything got a little dark.
It did.
And and they were very superstitious.
Yeah,
so.
I got a picture of just the Halloween and witches. This is just kind of a.
Yeah.
So look at the witch. Look at the cat sitting on her broom.
Yeah, her familiar.
I like that. I think that's a really cool picture.
That is a cool little drawing.
And then there's like little kitty cats.
Yeah, at each end of the Halloween. Word. Yeah, cute.
Yeah, so I think that's that. I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was a really cute little picture.
Yeah, I mean, people can take anything and turn it into symbolism.
Oh, yeah.
But I love a black cat. I mean, I think they're beautiful.
I think
little,
black cats are
beautiful cats. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, since we pulled up the witches and we pulled up that in that picture, there were bats.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where bats come into play.
Okay.
So, this is awesome. So, the Celtics would light large bonfires. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the bonfires would apparently attract insects. And when insects are around, what would happen? What do bats eat? Insects. So the insects would come around whenever it got darker and darker. Then the bats would came out, and so of course the Celtics thought that the bats were harbingers of death. Harbingers of death.
Bringing around the death.
They're bringing around the death.
Well,
so
meanwhile,
bats and cats really
the Celtics were burning off. What they were burning was the waste from all the harvest.
Yeah.
What they couldn't actually use. So that's what the bonfires were for. They were clearing the land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the bats swarmed because the bugs were there.
Yeah. So you light a big bonfire, and then, bats, the insects are coming out. The bats, which I love bats anyway. I have a couple bats that fly around at night. I love
bats.
them things. I want a bat house.
I do too. But I want bats, as many as possible, around my house because they eat mosquitoes. They eat, I researched it one time. They eat I want to say several hundred mosquitoes per minute or per every few minutes.
Bats are your friend.
Yeah. Sometimes in the
them.
summer I'll go outside and sit and watch for them. I saw one this year.
Yeah.
That was it.
So you think the Celtics would be happy that the bats came out, but nope. They are the ones.
They're like, oh, you did this. You killed all of our crops.
You killed our crop. Bad. So bats and cats really got a bad rap, and witches.
Mm-hmm. Which we'll go into that in another episode.
Yeah, we'll go into that in another episode.
The whole witch hunt thing is a whole episode.
The witch hunt thing is completely fascinating with me, which Salem, Massachusetts is on my bucket list. But anyway, so I feel bad for the bats and the cats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got all sorts of, you know.
They get the bad rap.
They do get the bad rap.
Yes.
But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come up with finishing up some of our really fun, neat Halloween traditions.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
There is a lot.
We'll be right back.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Peggle's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Peggle Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Florida for all your custom and promotional needs.
The insurance specialists have options to tailor to your needs at CSI Insurance Brokers. Experienced insurance brokers at CSI are skilled with all types of insurance plans and policies and represent many companies, including Safeco Insurance. You'll benefit from their detailed expertise, unbeatable premiums, and commitment to customer service. CSI Insurance Brokers and Safeco Insurance Company, providing affordable rates on quality insurance since 1952.
For over 50 years, at your locally owned and operated Royal King Supply in Salem and Olney, we've helped you and your neighbors enjoy an easy country lifestyle. We carry the most thorough sporting goods department around with a huge variety of hunting and fishing gear, camping equipment, and a variety of firearms for any need. Our team is here to help you find whatever you need. Open every day, it's Royal King in Salem and Olney, your locally owned farm and home store.
Welcome back. We are having so much fun talking about Halloween.
Yeah. And dressing up. And
oh, gosh. We have a good time here on our set. So let's see. What do you have next?
Well, okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about pranking.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I don't have a problem with pranking. Okay, wait a minute.
I don't have a problem with some pranking, but some people take it a little too far.
Right. So basically, let's talk a little bit about that, where pranking comes from.
Okay.
Of course, from the Scots and the Irish.
The Scots and that, they're like, Every single thing you look up, it was like the Scots and the Irish.
The Scots and the Irish. When they came to America, they brought their tradition with them, celebrating Mischief Night.
Okay.
As a part of Halloween.
Okay.
So you can literally thank the Scots and the Irish for coming, and they celebrated Mischief Night in their home planet, and now they brought it to America.
If they would have owned actual toilet paper, they would have been throwing it in the trees.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what they did back in the day. See, oh my gosh.
Don't egg me.
Oh,
that's vandalism.
That's
vandalism.
vandalism.
There is a line between pranking and vandalism.
I don't have a problem with TPing whatsoever.
No, I don't have a problem with that, but I don't like shredding.
Don't shred me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, one year we got soaped, and they soaped my screens.
Oh yeah, that's
oh my
like impossible to
gosh,
get off.
it was awful.
Yeah.
I don't like. You can TP me all you want, but don't soap me, don't egg me, don't shred me.
Some people don't know what shredding is.
Explain that horribleness.
So shredding is basically something that developed to even toilet paper somebody even worse. So you take the toilet paper and you tear it into pieces like this big and you throw it as confetti all over their lawn. The only way to pick that up is to bend over and pick it up.
Yeah.
You cannot
or hope that a big rain comes and it finally dissolves.
That's worse. That's worse. Let me tell you what happened to us last year. So we did get shredded last year, and it rained that night. So they shredded us probably around 10 o'clock.
Oh,
it rained
no.
probably by midnight, and it got cold, really cold that night. So you had frozen, wet toilet paper all over the front yard. If you drove by my house from anywhere between the end of the Halloween season until spring of this year, my yard still looked white.
Oh my
gosh. We could not get it all up. We went out there with rakes. And there wasn't anything to mow over. Everything was mowed short when this happened. And it wasn't growing because it was freezing cold out. And we couldn't rake it. We couldn't even pick it up. It was like paper machéed to the ground. So even if I bent over and like scraped it with my fingernails, I would only get up little tiny, tiny fuzzy pieces of it.
Yeah.
There was no getting it.
Oh,
It was
I
glued.
would lose my mind.
It was glued to my yard
That's
until
awful.
the grass started to grow this spring, and my husband was finally able to mow it, and it disappeared.
Now, Lama, that's a horrible thing.
Yes.
I have one more thing that might be a little bit worse. When Mac was in high school and he had a little white car, like a Grand Prix or whatever, and I woke up the next day and somebody had put Post-it notes all over his car, all over the front of my house, all over my white plastic railing. There were thousands of Post-it notes all over my yard.
That couldn't have been cheap to do.
It wasn't cheap to do, and it was dewy that night, so the pink and yellow and green Post-it notes polka dotted Mac's car. Yeah. So when they
Did it come off at the car wash?
I think Jim ended up figuring out a way to do it, but his car looked like it was pink and yellow and green polka dotted. Not to mention you physically had to pick up every one of them Post-it notes. They were soggy, they were wet, and it turned my house. We had to.
Somebody spent some time on that.
Yeah, I know who did it.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up finding out because it was a couple girls and they felt really, really bad because they had no idea. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, did you not think that I would have to bend over and pick all that stuff up? I didn't find out about it until long. But Mac was furious that I was sick because, like I said, I thought, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to put a paint. You know, my 16-year-old son's not gonna drive around in a pink polka dotted car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We get toilet papered all the time.
Yeah, we do too. We don't even have any trees, but we have bushes.
Oh yeah.
And they, throw it around our front porch and stuff. And
the boys, I would always take the boys' toilet paper, and it was always fun and that type of thing. And we just strictly. Remember when they used to put the forks in the yard when you got forked?
Yeah, I never had that happen.
I never had that happen, but I saw people that did. I wasn't happy about that.
Yeah.
But there was this one time. So like most of our trees are gone, and they're torn down by tornadoes. But we do have a side yard that's got 2 or 3 trees in it or whatever. Well, Mac and Connor had heard that they were on the hit list to get TP'd. So my boys go outside at dusk, Connor goes up in the trees. Connor's in the tree with firecrackers. So Connor's in the trees with the firecrackers. Mac has a dog, and we had a beautiful black lab named Axel, who was the best dog on the planet. So they're ready. So Mac's like, where my pergola's at now was a shed. So Mac is like right there in the corner with Axel. And so Axel, they're just sitting there. Connor's in the trees. Here come these boys. They're all their friends, and they're like TPing, and they're like, man, I can't believe Mac and Connor's not out here running us off, and they're just waiting.
They're lying in wait.
Connor's like literally, they're throwing toilet paper right around Connor, but it's so dark and they don't even know he's there. And he was just sitting there, and they're like, man, I can't believe Mac and Connor's not out here stopping us. Man, they're going to be so crazy. About that time, Connor lights his fireworks and starts throwing works, and they're like, crap, Connor's in the tree. Connor's in the tree. And then he's just like,
I'm surprised they didn't think it was gunfire
they
or something.
were throwing fireworks at, and then you hear Matt go, get him, Axel. Axel takes off, and then somebody said, crap, there's Axel. So Axel
that's great.
He didn't hurt him, but he it's a big dog.
Yeah.
So he's just like, and Mac and Connor were just like, well, they're like, but it just hear that one of them was the Sea High boy, and he was a big boy, and Axel, and he couldn't run very fast. He was a big boy, and Axel, I remember him and Jim and I are just like sitting on the front porch now watching it all happen, and make sure Connor's firecrackers don't set the place on fire. And man, Axel jumped and hit that Sea High boy in the back, and he fell down in the ditch.
Oh, gosh.
Little boys scattered all over the place.
Fun.
And then there was another time that I came across. I took a bunch of Connor's friends TPing, and I knew that this lady loved it. Ann Kesterson. She lives right next door to Randall. That little house in between the Dunnigan house and that. And she loved it. So I've got like 12 little boys, and we're TPing. They're like in 6th grade, And I knew Ann was watching. That's why I took them there, and they were just decorating. We were just beautiful, and they were like, man, we can't believe nobody's even paying attention. Nobody's even watching us. I'm parked at the Baptist church. And so anyway, they get done. I'm like, man, that looks really good, guys, and like that. And Ann has got the window open. She said, thank you, boys. It looks beautiful. And they freaked out. I had 13 6th grade. They all scattered. I'm in the road going, wait, everybody stop running.
Yeah.
Stop running.
Come back to the car.
They're running down the street, and they're diving into bush. I'm like, I'm going to lose somebody's kid. Back to the truck, boys. But Ann Kesterson, loved it. And so then for the next 2 or 3 years, they'd be like, Stacey, can we go to that lady's house? And she'd just sit there. She absolutely loved it.
Oh, that's fun.
Because I always just let it. I just let the rain get that, I never even left. I loved it. I always thought it was pretty. Or Jim sometimes would light them on fire and just watch it burn out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I never.
Yeah, as long as it's not real dry.
I've got a picture of pranking here.
Okay,
like, look
let's
at
see
this.
what we got.
This is what the Scots organized mischief. Now I'm not sure what this guy's doing. Is he painting somebody's window?
Yeah, I think he's painting a scene on the window with a pilgrim and a pumpkin and.
Well, that's nice. We do that. The cheerleaders did that downtown. Yeah, so that's organized mischief. It comes, like I said, it's Scottish, Irish, and they have their own. They celebrated mischief. Is that how you say that word, mischief?
Yeah, mischief.
Mischief night. So that's kind of fun. Next, let's talk one more little bit about lighting of candles and bonfires. Okay. So you know why bonfires got started?
They were burning the harvest, right? Did we say that earlier?
Yeah, but they were also lighting the way for lost souls to seek the afterlife.
Oh, follow the light.
Follow the light. I don't think I want to do the fire, though.
Yeah, I don't think that's the light that they meant. Oh gosh.
Yeah, so lighting of candles and bonfires.
What if it was a rainy night and you couldn't have a bonfire? Just those souls.
Not cool.
Those souls were just stuck.
Yeah, and they didn't have the super cool battery operated lights we have now.
Yeah.
But yeah, how fun. And then I just got one last picture of some little creepy decorations. This is not what I decorate with.
No, but this goes along with what I said earlier about how Halloweens of the past were actually way creepier.
Oh, absolutely.
Than what we even have now in many ways. Like, those things are creepy.
They're very creepy.
What even is it, and why do you want it?
And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Not me. I'll take a big hard hat, but I love Halloween.
I do too.
I mean, and if
it's just a fun time of year, and you don't, as long as you don't have anything sinister in your heart, you're not worshiping anything evil.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
It's harmless.
If you're one of those that don't like to celebrate it, well, then kudos to you. Don't celebrate it.
Sure, absolutely.
If you want to celebrate it. Yeah, I'm kind of a do you, to each his own. Yeah. I love it. But then it does kind of make, because then you do come across, because I don't think, like, we just covered a lot of Halloween traditions, candy corn, trick-or-treating, and that. You know, Halloween traditions had nothing to do with seances. Mm-hmm. It had nothing to do with witchcraft. Mm-hmm.
Right.
None of that stuff has to do. When you look back at Halloween, it is literally...
They were honoring the dead.
They were honoring the dead
and the saints and the
saints and the martyrs. And yeah, Halloween has nothing to do with... Now, do some people spin it and do that? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But the actual tradition of Halloween is nothing sinister. Mm-hmm. It's nothing sinister.
I feel like it just the same as you would any other day, you know, stay away from the things that, you know, that you feel like you should stay away from. If you're a believer, you stay away from the things of the occult. But,
absolutely.
You know,
yeah, it's not cultish. There was no occult. There was no Ouija boards and none of that stuff. That's not Halloween. That's just weird stuff. I don't dabble
in it. There are people that do, and to each
whatever.
their own.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. That's right. We're just here to simply tell you about the actual facts of how it got started.
Well, and this is, I can't believe I just pulled this page over. Number 39. The minute you choose to do what you really want to do, it's a different kind of life. From Buckminster Fuller. Buckminster Fuller. Have you ever heard that name?
Nope.
The minute you choose to do what you really want to do, it's a different kind of life. Now, to me, that goes both ways.
Yeah, that can be good or bad.
That can be good or bad. I mean, you can choose to do good or you can choose to do bad, or whatever you choose basically is on you. Whatever you choose to do is going to change your life one way or the other.
That is right.
It's just like when I choose that bag of candy corn today.
Yeah, I'm going to choose not to choose the candy corn today.
Come on. Can I be a bad influence?
I am going to, no.
It's only the second day. It's easy. You can cheat on the
No, I am in it to win it. I'm back on my plan of no sugar. And I just, honestly, I feel better when I don't eat sugar. My belly feels better.
Everything.
And
my joints. Everything feels better whenever you don't have sugar.
So I don't know why I go back to eating foods
because
with sugar
it's so
in it.
Good and your mom bakes everything.
Yes, I have an enabler.
I'm blaming your mom.
Yeah, well, I did stop by there last night to deliver some eggs, and I opened her fridge and saw leftover chocolate pie.
Oh, see, that's my favorite.
But I did not eat any.
Yeah.
I left.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm going to stay away from sugar. And I can, if I leave sugar alone, I can go ahead and eat. I'm not a bread eater, but I can eat a little bit of pasta and not have any trouble. But boy, that sugar piles it up. And I can even tell, like, if I cut out sugar for like 3 days, totally different ballgame.
Yeah, I feel like a new person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, by this weekend, I should feel great.
We're going on a trip in January, so I gotta look good because we're gonna hit the old Mexican.
Oh yeah, you're going to the Mexican Riviera.
Yeah, we're going to the Isla Mujeres.
Oh,
yeah.
It makes me think of that Madonna song. What is it? Isla Bonita.
Yeah. I don't
remember how'd that go?
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't really like Madonna.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, well that's it. We are out
of time, but it was fun. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you next time. See you later.
God bless you. Have a great day.